And we are live from the double boot episode. Will, how are you doing tonight? Did you get your drink ready?
I did. I think we're both tired, so we have our tea. We have our
Yes. We need
ImmuniTEA.
the tea to keep us going tonight. And I mean, for a while there, we thought we were going to be with no guests this episode. We were thinking, in honor of a double boot episode, we were going to just boot two of our guests off, but then decided that wasn't as fun. So we're bringing on Vin, and he's with us here now. Vin, how are you doing?
I am doing great. Sorry, viewers, for me not being on camera and you don't get to see my beautiful face. Um, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm having a hell of a day. Emily and I celebrated 6 year anniversary. That's awesome. Uh, and now I am just ready to get on the pod, talk a little shit. Um, and yeah, just kind of go do our thing.
Please, we welcome the shit talking because Will and I know we do enough of it. We need it thrown back at us sometimes. And we're very excited to meet you and have you on. And congratulations to both you and Emily on 6 years. And I
Thank
won't
you,
be like
thank you.
Jimmy. I'm not going to be like Jimmy. I'm not going to bother you about a ring because I know that's his whole shtick.
Trust me, I have been getting it from every angle in that department today. Half the people at my office were just pestering me at my desk about it. Told Emily we got a good 5 years. I'll get there. I'm still seeing if she's all right.
That's yeah, still feeling it out. I mean, 6 years,
Yeah,
you got to give it a little more time. At least hit a
she's
decade, you know?
yeah. She's from the Midwest. I'm from Jersey. It's a little different out here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Play it
convinced
by ear.
I'm convinced she won this season. So if that wasn't enough to impress you, I don't know what else you want.
Well, I hope she does since she's on
Time
my
will
team.
tell.
Time will
Time
tell.
will tell.
All right. Well, let's get right into the episode then. We'll start with the first challenge. At least, Vin, you don't have to worry about going in this one. The first challenge we had was shoot, I have it somewhere in my notes. I already forgot it. Oh, it was the Met. Will, we actually talked about this with Devin before the
I was
season.
gonna say it's our mist. This was our little inspiration for Devin.
Yeah, so it was the relay race between each tribe where you had to pick either physical or mental. Will and I had both done a similar type of challenge on previous LRGs we had played. Will, can you remind me, for yours, was the mental actually easier than the physical?
I don't remember what the physical was, but the mental was it was pretty easy.
Okay.
I don't know if it was easier.
Because I had a similar experience to what the heroes went through, where the physical one was pretty simple. It might have even been less. Where you guys just did squats, push-ups, and jumping jacks. I think we did push-ups and jumping jacks only, or something. And the mental was some sort of riddle that no one could figure out. And this time it was a slide puzzle. Vin, you happy you went with the physical instead of the slide puzzle for this one?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely was happy I went with that, but I was sitting there, I was like the second person to go, and I was like, wow, they're really all just gonna do physical. We're so fucked. I like, and then I literally see Kira just trying to just mastermind the slide puzzle, and I was like, we're not winning this one.
Yeah, I mean, once I saw there was multiple people choosing the slide puzzle, I was like, yeah, the heroes they're toast here because
Yeah.
Amelia put the villains on the backslide for doing that at the beginning, but then all of you just came in doing physical after that. It was funny watching you and Richie doing your squats next to each other. You both had great form.
Thank you. I try. Um, yeah, that was I honestly I think if I ever get on another season that I am never doing a mental challenge ever, and no one should. That was I mean, and then you had a bit of phone issue. I don't know if that picks up on the camera, but the slide puzzle when Emma was doing it was a little wonky. Uh, we'd get what we chose. We can't take it back in that moment, but yeah, physical was great. I wish we honestly I think it would have been great TV if everyone just went all physical and you just
Yeah,
had everyone squatting at like super speed.
Oh yeah. Devin should have done a super speed cut. That would have been fun to watch you and like set it to some sort of like goofy music.
Yeah.
I mean, Richie's jumping jacks also had me smiling. I don't know what it was about that. Are you upset you never got a chance to get vengeance on Richie?
Yeah, honestly, it goes back to, you know what it was? Christian just like rage baited me for like a full day before we got there of just we like watched the all-time like player rankings thing again, and Richie, it's like Devin, Vin's 5, Christian's like Vin is 6, and Richie's just like Vin's the 74th best player of all time. And I was just like, all right, fuck this guy. And
Yeah, I mean that's
honestly,
so
and
far
but
down.
I
You
said
know they're
that,
messing.
yeah, I said that, and then I saw him, and I was like, nah, never mind. I just like, but getting there, yeah. I mean, I thought I was like the Richie hate watch guy, and then you just had Matty Ice, and
And
I
now
was
that
just like, all right, never mind. I guess me and Richie are like best friends compared to them.
Seriously, that's what going into the season. I was like, these two are going to be at each other's throats. And then to Matty Ice's credit, he tried to make it work, but
Yeah,
Richie wasn't having any of it.
I will say that was a little bit of my input. Me and Matt were talking in the like pre-show, and I was like, "Get him out." I was like, "Do it."
Well, Ben mentioned he stirred the pot too, right? So can you confirm this on your end? Did Ben say that Richie was talking shit about you prior to the season?
Yeah, that was crazy. Ben literally walks up to me. I'm like having a splendid time. I'm trying to just enjoy my Ham's beer. You know, you only get those in Wisconsin, and I get friggin' Ben comes up. We're talking for like 5 minutes. I'm like, "Oh, this guy's pretty cool." And he's like, "Yeah, Richie told me you can't be trusted. You need to be voted out immediately." I was like, "All right, it's awesome."
You're like, all right, guess I know who my number one enemy is.
Yeah, literally. So I just, yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. All right. Well, so then I guess not much else to this challenge. We go straight to tribal for the heroes, but during the villains, though, ahead of time, we get a lot of strategic. There's actually a lot of planning both rounds by the villains, and then they don't even go to tribal. So there's just like they're just itching to vote someone out. I
Someone
mean, you can
out.
see.
Yeah.
I could see it in Emily's face. She's like, we got to. She's so in on that 3-2-1 plan. She's like, I just need the chance to actually get it to happen. But she doesn't get that chance this episode. But Dakota actually finds the teabag idol, and she does tell Emily about that. And in exchange, Emily tells Dakota about the idol that Nolan has. Will, are you laughing at teabag idol?
Teabag Idol is crazy.
What else would it be? That's what it is, right?
Sure.
It is the ImmuniTEA podcast. You know, you
The
got to reference tea where you
it's
can
the
get it.
ImmuniTEA bag idol.
Teabag Idol.
I don't know. I don't know what's so funny, guys. That's what it is.
Anyway, Dakota found an idol. Dakota did something important. I'm really happy for her.
Yeah. How are you feeling, Will, on Dakota? Because I feel like there was a tone shift in her now in the morning compared to the previous night.
Yeah, I think we're getting there. I'm still longing for more, but I'm feeling the momentum. And you know, I could see Dakota being to Emily what Richie is to Corey. You know, kind of like an extra vote, someone to have always on the side. You kind of know that they're always going to be loyal to you. I you know, we haven't talked about this off camera, but I assume that next is swap. And so if Dakota links up with, say, Emma, I think that, you know, I could see her game becoming more dynamic if she's with people that she knows a little better, because everyone keeps saying that she's very big on relationships and people who she's comfortable with, and that's part of it.
Yeah, I don't think there is a swap, Will. I mean, we're down to 11 now. I think they just will go no swap. It's 6-5, and they'll just let it roll.
I mean, you theoretically, I don't know if they do this, but you could do a swap and an exile and then merge.
Could. I don't know. I know Vin can't comment on this, but
I was gonna say it'd be pretty crazy to know what happens.
Yeah, it would be crazy.
You guys right now.
Yeah, Vin's just gonna pretend. Feel free to throw in like fake crazy
I was
out
gonna
there.
say I should just rage bait.
Yeah, be like, yeah, man, it's gonna be nuts when Jimmy
Matty Ice
steals his
comes
idol
back and
back
wins
from
it. It's gonna
Nolan.
go insane.
Yeah, Devin said no comebacks, but Matty Ice got voted back in the game by America and goes on to win the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, it was huge. Marquette sponsored it.
Of course, Marquette. We are Marquette. All right, so we had a lot of discussion with Nolan on the Heroes Tribe. There's a lot of heated discussion between Nolan and Richie specifically. And I was saying this out loud while watching the episode when we had the discussion between Nolan and Richie. I said, Nolan is trying so hard right now, and this is the best I've ever seen him communicate. Like, he was showing so much patience in that moment, because I know you can feel Richie's anxiety through the screen, and it's like, it's so palpable. And Nolan is doing everything he can to be as patient as possible and just try and make something work with Richie, even though it seems like Richie's already kind of have his mind made up on that. And Nolan probably does too, but he's just doing his best.
Yeah, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I wrote down that it was interesting to go, whether it was intentional or not, to go from Nolan pushing Richie's paranoia to then still utilizing the strength of like how to work with Richie as such an emotional player. Like, if you're not going to feel the paranoia, the opposite is you have to be essentially therapeutic to like take him off the ledge. And yeah, like you said, Dan, I never have seen Nolan talk that way. Like, it, as a therapist, at points it felt like, he was one. It was just very calming, reflective language, like a lot of things. And like, that's how you have to talk to Richie. Because he just gets so paranoid. You have to like be that grounding present. So I was impressed. I think it's exactly what he needed.
Yeah, I agree. And Nolan, I think he does a good job in all of his conversations this episode. He is still in a shaky spot. Emily still wants to make sure there's at least bare minimum votes on Nolan to flush the idol one way or another. And we'll see if he actually plays it or not, or if that plan even ever comes to fruition. But I think he's doing well trying to manage things and kind of shift things towards maybe Amelia and Dakota against each other, or Richie even being towards the bottom, and just trying to still keep himself tight with Emily and Corey, make himself valuable to them, even though he's totally ready to jump ship if they ever hit merge and go with Ben and Jimmy and the other people he already knows.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're setting themselves up well. No shade to Wizco. I'm personally not a huge fan of One World. I'm more of a purist, so I'm not keen on the cross tribal chats that have been happening. But that's just me. If they're going to happen and that's part of the game, then I would say that they're doing a great job. To set themselves up 3-3 going into merge. No one's in a really good position right now.
Vin, can you shed some more light on that with cross tribal chats? So are these all just happening during the challenges because you guys are all kind of in that small room together?
Yeah, so I know me personally, the second like the villains came down every time, I was trying to get as much info as I can, like where are votes going, like what is happening on your side. Like, I mean, the people I trust and like wanted to work with at the merge, I was like, let me tell them what's going on without telling them what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like, I mean, as you can see, like the way I play, like I play a social game, so it's just like I'm trying to talk to everyone as much as I can. So
Yeah.
I know I get the whole, honestly, like the idea of it just being banished, but it's impossible in like those tiny rooms to like stop anyone from getting convo. I mean, I know that was, yeah, Richie tried to get us to throw the one challenge, and literally Jimmy turns, tells me that, and I was like, yeah, why would we do that? That's like no bueno. But sure.
I mean, I guess the worst you could do is say, no, Richie, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that is literally like the definition of like what the worst they could say is no. Like, but yeah, I think that's a huge part of the game, just building the relationships for like a potential merge or swap or anything like that.
Yeah, and from we get a lot of this from Emily's perspective. She is most suspicious of Jimmy and Joe on the other side, actually. And I mean, I think it's partially because of how awesome Joe was in that previous challenge. Also, Vin, I hear Joe did help you with your futon overnight. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's insane. I was dying because he rips out like two puzzles. I'm sitting there like, wow, this is literally the smartest man on the planet. And then we go upstairs. I'm like fucking around with the futon. Nothing's happening. He just like is like, do this. And I like comes out and I was like, yeah, this guy's pretty much the smartest human being on the planet. Granted, my mind was just not on the futon, I guess, in that moment. I was talking big city boys, just ripping nonsense, sleep depriving myself.
Yeah,
So
you were busy running the tribe.
So was Big City Boys one
I
of your
really,
alliance names?
yeah, we're literally, well, that's what we sat there, like in the overnight. We're like sitting there. It's like one of those things where everyone is so like sleep deprived that no one is just like, it's all just laughs and like zero real comment. And I would just sit there and my mind just like triggers. And it was just like, I'm from right outside New York. He's from right outside Atlanta. And Jimmy's from right outside Chicago. And I was like, city boys, big city boys. And then we were like, yup, that's the one. And you
I
know
love
what?
it.
I thought I had big city boys back. That was no bueno. I
No.
they hurt my feelings there. It's no fun.
Well, it looked like you. Oh, I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself,
I was
but I
gonna
was
say,
going to say
we're
it
not
looked
really
Yeah,
like.
no, I'm
past
sorry.
the
I'm not.
first tribal. Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
no,
know, but
I'm.
I just wanted to bring up the look of heartbreak on Ben's face when they said that Ben was considering voting for him. Like his,
I cannot wait. I mean, I could talk on that right now, but I could wait if I have the
we'll
willpower.
circle back to it. We'll
Yeah.
circle
Yeah,
back.
because I have a lot of thoughts on you and Ben. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It seems like there's this like Emily, what was it? Emily, Dakota, Nolan wanting to work with them. But then later it seems like for that reason, Emily kind of pulled away from wanting to flush Nolan's idol. Dakota now has an idol. We also haven't talked about Corey found the steal of votes. There's a lot of things happening over at Villains.
All the advantages are with the villains right now. Yeah. And yeah, Corey just still also at the top of that tribe, just kind of coasting. Like people don't seem to be worried about him in the slightest. They should be, but
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a Davis trait. They just literally everyone forgets they exist. Every single
it's
like,
just that charisma.
bro. I mean, I love them both. I'm actually gonna see them this weekend. I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
Be in Florida, but yeah, that is yeah, they have something about them. It's literally like a protective shield of just aura, I guess. Actually don't even want to give them that credit. I know Will is a Davis apologist, but I cannot stand for this.
I am not an apologist. That's
Or
what I
Davis.
love. That's what I love about the Davises is they're unapologetically assholes. I love an unapologetic villain. What I
I know,
hate
but
is
then
when people
but
are
then everyone
villains.
thinks they're also the nicest human beings. I don't get it. I'm like
There's a
sitting there the
there's a
entire time just
difference.
watching them.
There's a difference between the player and the person.
No, they're the same. They're the same both ways. As the person other than like Devin, who probably gets the most Christian time, he is the same person, regardless of the seasons you watch. He just clip farms a little bit. Oh, I can't. Also, too much clip farming by the new people. I will say
Ben.
that is
Yeah.
my second biggest pet peeve of Survivor Wisconsin players is the amount of times where I'm just like, you didn't say that. Like you've had that in the book for a week. Like you could not wait to bring that one out.
Oh, that's
Like
Ben. That's
everything I
Jimmy.
say is
Yeah.
just off the dome immediately.
I was gonna say this is the second time you stabbed Ben in the back.
What was the way? Oh, because of the vote.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But I will say, Vin, I don't clip farm. There was only one. It was in Second Chance when I did the girl who poops or bitch who shits. But otherwise, everything I have is off the rip. But yes, I would say that Ben is the king of clip farming.
Yeah, Vin, I don't know if you know this, but since you haven't watched Survivor Wisconsin, but all of us still have a residency inside of Will's pockets. He's got all of us in there.
Which is why I relate to you, Vin, of thinking you have full control over a tribe that you have none. So when I give you shit, I'm also eating my own words from last season.
Nice. I'll definitely have to go back and watch that.
Anyway,
I want to ask, Will, is it easier, do you think, to just talk about villains as a whole from both post challenges? Because, I mean, it's like kind of, they never go to tribal, so it's just like an extension of the same strategy.
Yeah.
Like rather than like try and go back and forth.
Yeah.
Because then we might as well, the people we haven't talked as much about on villains, Amelia, she's again in kind of a shaky spot. How do you feel Amelia's doing after this week?
I don't know. I mean, like Amelia said herself, no one's talking with her, and so that's obviously a scary position. And it seems like Dakota, Nolan, Emily, and then by effect, Corey, because Corey's good with Dakota, Corey's good with Emily. So even if he's not part of this like cross tribal six that's happening, like you said, no one's really worried about him. So it seems like Amelia and Richie are kind of on the bottom. So yeah, I mean, she skated by with Kayla, she skated by with Matt. So I could see her skating by again with Richie. It just seems like that's how she's been positioning herself in this tribe. But I don't know. I mean, as Nolan said, like not everything's always shown on TV. So there's obviously things we're not always privy to. But yeah, I think the thing with Amelia is I think she's really good with those one-on-one relationships. I don't think she's someone who's necessarily going to be like gunning for a huge 6-7 person alliance. So I think that those could get her through.
Amelia did say just now her, Nolan, and Corey would smoke outside and talk. So I guess a lot of the conversations she had with the two of them weren't on camera for that reason. And so maybe we're not getting as much of that. We did see some of Amelia's stuff in the sneak peek. I think we got a little bit more from her, which she actually had me cracking up with Richie talking to her. and Richie saying how much he really wants to work with Amelia. And Amelia just like look at him going, I fuck with you, Richie. It just tickled me just the right way.
Or literally Richie fucking ranting about Nolan, and then the second he walks away, in earshot, she's like, and Richie keeps walking in on everyone's conversations. He's pissing all of us off. You better go.
You could see in that clip of Amelia talking in this episode, Richie just going and opening a door in another conversation. It was just like the perfect
cinematic.
God, yeah.
That's the other thing I appreciate Amelia in her gameplay is like I was saying about say Corey, like she's unapologetic, like she doesn't give a shit. Like she'll say whatever's on her mind. I think that that could be a strong alliance trait, is that like you always know where she stands because she's not gonna hide anything, she's not gonna like keep anything back. So yeah, I think it's curious if they go to tribal, what's going to happen over there. But yeah, I think Amelia and Richie are in trouble at this point.
I think that's because if the other options are Nolan and Dakota, they at least have an idol as well in their pocket. So I would agree. I feel like Amelia and Richie are probably in the most dangerous position currently. And I don't really have much else to say on the villains for this episode as a whole. We can actually move into both of the tribals for heroes then, unless you have more to say.
I think the only thing I would say is that like Emily, again, like she's in such a fucking kick-ass position to know about Dakota's idol, to know about Nolan's idol. I would be shocked if Corey hasn't told her or won't tell her about his thing. Like her social positioning, especially on that tribe, is insane. I really think that she's continuing to strengthen her position come swap or merge, probably merge. I'm increasingly more and more shocked if she doesn't make it to final tribal.
Oh, and also just Vin, about Emily, because I've said this a few times. I enjoy so much, and I don't know how this translates to you in real life, so much to watch her go from cutthroat in her one-on-ones and just cussing people out to then just like smiley face at tribal and like being like, we're all friends here, this is tough to do. Like, do you get both sides of that in real life too? And is it as
Yeah,
scary
no,
as it seems on
I was
TV?
just about to say, I'm that's my everyday life. Um, yeah, she's the sweetest girl in the world, and then I like forget to take out like chicken or something, and then I'm basically just the devil. But yeah, I mean, it's her anniversary. I can't rag her too hard. She's sitting here. I'm also sitting here with her literally staring directly at my face. So I feel like there's a gun. I feel like there's a
Oh,
gun to my head right now. But yeah,
yeah. No,
she.
I'm not trying
I
to
definitely.
not trying to trap you. You should only say nice things right now.
Yeah, no, actually, no. She doesn't ever do that, guys. She doesn't do that. She's a sweetheart all the time. You're right.
Yeah.
Then, if you need any help, you can message Trinity. She'll always have nice things to say.
Yeah, Trinity,
Well,
that's my wife. She's the one that will give positive comments or has been trying
yeah, I
to.
loved it. That was my favorite episode I watched.
Don't feed into her.
I love it. I was so funny because I'm sitting there and Will's just like, please God, stop with the like. You could see in his face like, please don't say another Trinity thought on like what people were enjoying, and she's like, Vin is very nice, and I was like, yes, this is what I needed right now.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of very nice people, why don't we get into our first
The nicest
hero
person.
tribal?
Yes, okay. First hero tribal. We go straight to tribal, so there's not a lot of discussion, but this is probably the most straightforward vote we've had all season, and we've kind of been able to see it coming for a while. The last couple episodes, I was like, I can't even name one ally of Kyle's. And I love the guy, but he was just clearly on an island by himself, and in a
No, it's my
situation
dog.
where you go straight to tribal, there's really no extra time to talk other than whatever you did overnight, which I also heard you guys didn't have a lot of strategy talk overnight because production was kind of around. Is that an accurate statement, Vin?
Yeah. I also was just I literally said at one point, I was like, can we just not talk about the game so we could try and get sleep and do this tomorrow? Because I just had like flashbacks to being in the old like Wisconsin Whitewater house and Richie just like scrounging around at 4 a.m. to find an idol. And I was just like, let's just not do that tonight, guys. Let's just like we talked a little gameplay. Like by the time we went to bed and we're sitting there talking like me, Jimmy, and Joe, like it was definitely like if we lose challenge, it's gonna be Kyle. Um, but like so Kyle's my dog and I really did not want to I wanted to keep him around. I mean, as you could see, it clearly did not work in my favor for him not to be around. Because I felt like he was voting with me. But yeah, yeah, let me stop speaking so I could say another point when it gets to me.
Yeah. So I mean, the vote was pretty straightforward. I mean, we had you and Kyle vote on Emma, which this is also kind of a signature move of yours from your past seasons. You like to make sure there is that extra insurance vote out there just in case of an idol. It's smart because especially around like this, when it is clearly like a unanimous all on Kyle on whatever percentage chance he did find some sort of idol, you have to make sure that's not you. So it makes total sense why you were like, yeah, I'm going to just do that extra insurance vote on Emma, make sure that it's her going if an idol is played.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I mean that's why I got overconfident when it got to me, but yeah, I see no harm in that play always, especially when you have like we had 6 people at that point, 7 people at that point. Like
Six,
realistically,
seven.
oh God, it happened again.
If you could see the eye roll from Will.
I know. I just he said it before too, and I like have a little bit of the chat bet immediately. It was like he said it 6-7. But yeah, just throw a little pizzazz out. It also just helps to like scare people a little bit, which I think is always good in the game. Just throw a little chaos out there.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Poor Kyle. He seemed like he knew the result when he was walking in. It looked like he was a little bit emotional about it, but at the same time, in the sneak peek, Jimmy in his confessional said Kyle at one point told him, it'd be okay if he got voted out and he would understand. I'm like, Kyle, what are you doing, man?
Well, that's the thing. He's just the best, and he does such a tale of like two different mindsets. Because like when you see me go out, I'm like, all these people could die right
Yeah.
now, and I'd be fine with it. And Kyle goes out and he's like, "You guys are great. You guys, I had a great time." And I'm like, I was sitting there like, and he plays your heartstrings in that moment. You know, you sit there and everyone's just like, "Damn, we just voted out an angel."
Kyle, I mean, don't think anyone can say enough nice things about him because he's the nicest guy ever. I mean, we spent way too long talking about him in the draft prior to the season just because everyone's like, oh, I love Kyle so much that he's gone so early. It's kind of funny in retrospect. But I mean, love seeing Kyle, even if it was for just a short moment. Totally saw the vote coming. Yes, there's not much more on that round. We can go to the next. Do we want to talk about the tic-tac-toe flip cup challenge at all? Or no?
Go ahead, Vin.
I could not believe that we did not win that challenge. I mean, we could get into more of the nitty gritty of it, but the second we won that first round, they also had, I will give the villains credit. I don't know if this was a strat or they just weren't good at the first flip and we were just better at it, but us just winning the first flip every time and them immediately stacking us was just the most angering thing in the world. Yeah, I thought we had that in the bag.
Yeah. It didn't even have to be tic-tac-toe because you all went in that same line every time anyways.
Yeah, really. But yeah, all those ones are always like such a mess. Like when you have the flip, like and like trying to move things and having the opportunity to stack. I also, when we first got down there, I didn't know we were going to be able to stack each other. So I just was like, "Why is he doing that? Why is he throwing his cup on my cup?" But yeah.
I will say the Richie stacking because we had to have the reset for one of them, but just the energy from Richie and all these challenges.
74 miles per hour across the fucking room.
It was so good because even on the first one, when it didn't go off the table, there was still that same like huge energy to get it stacked. And then the second round that came around, he did it, and that's when he had to do the reset. But then what was funny was the change up after that. The next one he did like the gentlest stack I've ever seen, just to make sure he didn't mess it up again.
That was great. Yeah.
So they win the next two of those after Heroes got the first one, sending you guys straight back to Tribal. So here's where, unfortunately, we had some audio issues return. I blame Will. He jinxed us in the last episode. Here's why, Will. Last episode, you were like, thank you, Jamil. The audio is way better, and I think we're just going to go up from here, only to have it all return come morning.
I was just excited to see Ben lip sync again. You know, I really enjoyed it in the past, and I was excited to see more. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see Ben on the drag season when we get to that.
Well, Vin, are you going to join for a drag queen season?
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll see if I can fly out. You know? Might be able to fit that in the schedule, you know.
I love the hesitation where you're like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be a big old drag queen, but we'll see how that works. But
Will, I think you got a new drag daughter here.
A new one. I don't have one to begin with.
Oh, well, then you're first.
Great.
That's an honor, Vin.
I nominate Corey Davis.
Oh, will totally take him up on that.
I don't know.
I would pay good money for that, genuinely.
All right. So, post challenge, I'm going to try and put together as much as we can. I mean, Kira, Jimmy, Ben, Joe, New Era Strong still seem to be on that same wavelength. They've pretty clearly pulled Emma in, much to the dismay of Vin, since that's kind of your best out here is probably Emma. But she seemed to, after that Connor vote, the first round, really kind of secured herself with at least Kira and Joe, and feels good enough with Ben and Jimmy that, and I guess they didn't seem to think that you would stick with them as much as Emma would stick with them. maybe because of your rogue vote strategies? What do you think, Ben? Why do you think they trusted her more than you?
I really don't think it was the rogue votes as much as like I'll play a lot of things into that. One, it's so funny when you get to those moments and you so clearly know who the vote is between. Because me and Emma did not say a word to each other for that entire time. And you know that both of us are just like making our best sales pitch on why to vote out the other person. Um, and I will say to Emma's credit, I did not like I mean I don't want to say like 'cause she's a good player. Like I didn't pay her as much mind as I should have in that moment. And I just really felt like I was in a good position. I felt like I was in too good of a position. And that's when I was just like, fuck it. If it's Ben, if it's Jimmy, it doesn't matter. And then that definitely hit me in the ass there. Um, yeah, I didn't realize how much, and this is Vin's number one pet peeve of the new people. No one is cutthroat enough. No one like I love everyone. I am always the nicest person ever. I make friends with everybody. This is like in my mind the opportunity where I could be like, let me ruin my girlfriend's day or let me do this. Like you should want to vote out your friends in my mind. Like when you like don't just do it to do it, but like if you have an opportunity to like make a power move or like backstab or anything like that, like those that's like how I see the game. Like it's not just like let's win challenges as a bunch of friends and then like go to the end. Like because I feel like that works against you at the end of just saying,
Yeah.
okay, we had a good three group of friends and we just kept going. Um, but
I
yeah,
I do agree with you, but I think there is also the part of timing. And I think right now pre-merge might just I think the timing was off for you. I think if
no,
you
a
were able
hundred
to at least get
percent.
to the merge, then it's more likely for that flip to happen. Because to me, it's actually crazy that Ben is saying this in the chat. I think Ben's always talking about his mist, Vin. I think he found a true match for his mist, and it's Vin's snow. You have completely snowed Ben, if this is the case, because he was trying to actually flip it onto Jimmy, even so far as trying to get Jimmy's idol back so that he could save you and idle Jimmy out with his own idol, which would have been a fun move, fun TV.
That would
But I
have
think that would
been
have been
the coolest thing ever.
it would have been a great TV moment, but I think that would have been horrendous for Ben's game, honestly. I just don't because even if he still is aligned with you, I mean, to me, watching, you have connections on the other tribe that Jimmy just doesn't. Jimmy at most would have Nolan, but Nolan, I think, would also want to eventually get one over on Jimmy too. I think all of Jimmy's real connections are on the Heroes tribe, and you've done your part to make connections there, but you also have people you know on villains. And the villains tribe, we've saw this episode, are very clearly targeting new era people, Ben included. So that is a wild idea that he would want to save you and take out a potential ally for him, or even if you take Jimmy to merge and then take him out, at least he's on jury and would probably vote for you instead of someone else. Whereas, I don't know. But it would
Yeah,
have been a great moment for TV for sure.
I mean, I guess in my mind, it's one of those things. Like I genuinely thought like it was in the best interest to keep me around because I was at least I thought I was vibing with like the people on our side to where my mind was okay if we could get to like a merge or something or if there is a swap um like we could like I thought okay I could pull in Emily and Corey and then have like a good God I don't even want to say the fucking thing again 6 or 7 people um like power like alliance and then you just kind of rip people off until you eventually have to cannibalize each other. But um yeah, that would have been great TV. I mean, that would have been awesome. Yeah, I mean I would say Ben was definitely like the guy in my mind where I'm like, okay, like if we get to a merge or anything, like I want to bring him along with like Emily and Corey, and then just kind of go from there. Sad I didn't get to work with villains. I honestly, going in, thought I was going to be a villain. Um,
Oh, no way,
so
Vin. I can't see it. I mean,
like that would have been, I don't know. I feel like at least like going back to my like older seasons, like I felt like I just backstabbed a good amount of people to where I was gonna be a villain. I really thought that was more suited for me. And then I sit here and I like watch Emily because I never really like see the little dirty work as much. I'm like, she's a bad guy.
yeah, I just think also, Vin, you just have this like big teddy bear persona that like you're such like a calm, quiet dude that just people I think can get along with right away. And I think that enough is like just a hero quality. Even if you're doing like backstabbing, people, I don't think
Yeah,
they even get
backstab
mad at
with a
you.
smile.
Yeah, really. And so I think that got your spot. And I think Emily has shown us this season alone why she's on the villains tribe.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Was there ever a
Without
part
a
of
doubt.
you? Was there ever a part of you that thought about trying to pull Emma in and flip something?
No, I mean honestly, like I said, I mean this is all credit to Emma. I like fully discounted that moment. Like we're sitting there and I mean we could go into the tribal. I was sitting there and Ben just like turns to me. And this is like the first time he didn't smile at me in like 2 days. And he's like, "It's you." They all flipped. And I was like, "Nah, say fucking psych right now." And it just, he's like, and I was like, "You voted for me?" He's like, it's like, "I had to." I was like, "That's insane." And then I just sat there mad on the couch for 5 minutes while Devin did his spiel.
Yeah, I mean, we had two heartbreak Ben moments. One when they said when Kira and Jimmy were telling him that you were thinking of throwing a vote on him as insurance, his just whole head dropped, and then him going to vote, just crashing at the voting booth. Like, I can't believe I have to vote for my favorite Vincent. So at least you won the favorite Vincent for Ben.
And honestly, that's really what I came into this show for. You know, who wants to win, you know? I already won before. Um yeah, I mean, I'll just I gotta come back. I can't end on that is where my mind is.
My other
I
question for you
I'm
then, you had to, well, you felt you had to throw a name out there because your plan is always to, have a backup in case there's an idol. Why choose Ben if you were working so closely together?
It wasn't as much, it's like a kill or be killed moment where my mind was, okay, realistically, if Jimmy and Kira want to make like a big move against someone that they are like friends with, he's the guy. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
you sit there and you like watch, like, I mean, I definitely like pick up on people's like personas in a sense that you could tell that these people knew what they were doing. Like, you see everyone just psychoanalyzing like the game, and like even like when we first got like literally we got to the house and the first thing I said was like I'm watching like Kira just like we're all talking about like, oh, what's our strengths and things like this, and I see Kira just looking everywhere, just her eyes like going 100 miles per hour, just like psychoanalyzing the room, and I was just like, yeah, these people, like this is I in that moment I was like, yeah, this is like a lot. These people take this a lot. I don't want to say more seriously because everyone should take this seriously. Like we're being competitive, but like yeah, I was like, this is a different ball game. Not as much of like because I'm not gonna say like I like the way the new era people or the I like the way the old era people play, but yeah, I that's just definitely bias. Um,
You're allowed to
yeah.
be biased. I mean, I think we all have our own biases. We were called on that a few times, weren't we, Will?
I don't know what you're
Will
talking.
just thinks Will just thinks I was Bunyan maxing the entire
Yeah.
I,
game.
I think that this episode proved exactly what I thought of you, Vin, is that you were very overconfident, which is wild coming from me. But I think you were very overconfident and you got comfortable. And like I say, every single tribal, when you get comfortable, you go home. Case in point. Um,
Yeah,
so I was right.
you
So,
were. I will give you that.
Will, I am curious, what would you have done from Vin's position? It doesn't even have to be for the round he went, but like any rounds leading up to it. Like, what was there something you think he could have done that would have better solidified himself?
Yeah, I mean, I think that like one of two things. I mean, I think that you had a good relationship with Kira. She seemed to want to work with you. I think I would have leveraged that a little bit. It seems like you got very comfortable with Ben and just that was a lot of the comfort, but you need more than just one person on your side. So if the whole conversation, you kind of have two directions you can take it. If the whole thought is like it's new era versus old because of Jimmy pushing that on heroes, and I don't know if that was also your perception, but um, then I would say link up with Emma and Kyle and try to make it a 3-3 and get out a new era person early. Um, the alternative is to, try to have more of a hybrid. So again, pull in either Emma or Kyle and find, say Kira and maybe and Ben. Um, and, kind of do what now we're seeing that villains are already doing cross tribal. Um, but yeah, I think the biggest thing is again just not getting too comfortable. Um,
Yeah, I mean that's genuinely what it was. Like I never, like I felt like the relationships I had in that moment, I was gonna get more of like at least from one of them, like oh, your name is being thrown out as a like possibility right here, and then I feel like I would have kind of kicked it into gear. Um, just yeah, in that moment, I was just like, all right, let Emma do her thing. I mean, I'm not that worried, and yeah, I got a little too calm, cool, and collected. I mean, on my thing, I didn't even realize I was 31 straight votes, so I honestly forgot what it was like to get voted out.
mm,
Like, so I just yeah, I didn't even yeah, that was definitely just way too much overconfidence. My
Well,
snow, I guess, as the
your snow. You brought
as,
the
as
snowplow out, man.
I was literally I was a blizzard in that moment. I was way too confident. I mean genuinely I mean I keep saying it, but like in the 4 or 5 seasons of Survivor, I don't think I've ever felt in better position than I did in that moment. Like I don't know what was happening, if it was just the good vibes around, but I just completely just was yeah feeling myself too much.
Yeah. Well, I will say in those 31 straight, I mean, that includes your winning season. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I did just watch it recently, though, was I think you attended every single tribal council that season. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then you never went home and you won the whole thing. So I can see where some of that confidence would come from that.
Yeah, that oh my god, was that? I mean, if please watch season 8 Blood versus Water. Um if you want to just see the worst circumstances of losing challenges. I mean, our tribe just got rinsed for like 5 hours straight, just could not win anything, and we were just bad. We're like, all right, who's next on the chopping block?
Yeah, that was I watched it shortly after doing the fantasy draft. So I drafted Emily because I thought I didn't know much about Emily or your games at all at that point, but just looking at the tribe positioning and knowing that you and her, I actually didn't even know that you and Emily were together when I did the draft. I just knew that you and Emily and Corey had played in 3 seasons together already. So I was like, oh, I like her positioning. And then I watched your seasons and I was like, oh man, I got to steal with that pick. I was so hyped when I watched season 8, and I thought she played like a way better game than she got credit for in that season. But to your credit, you did also have a very good game that season too. That wasn't like
uh, no, I agree, she did play great. I like to gallivant around the house, uh and rip her with an occasional scoreboard. um but yeah, God, what was I just gonna say? I honestly, I went into this. Emily blew up my spot immediately too, because once again, I was like, yeah, people didn't watch these seasons, and I was like, I'm gonna go in there, and I told Emily, I was like, don't let anyone know we're dating. And then we're literally down in like the meeting room, and she's like, this is my boyfriend.
Okay, but Vin, you do know that Richie was there, right? So even if no
Yeah,
one has watched these,
that's
Richie
true.
is the
He is
historian.
literally the lore keeper. I can't. Yeah. That was
Yeah, I don't think there were going to be any secrets in that house one way or another.
yeah, no, we did not keep that in house at all. That did not go well. Um and yeah, I guess that was another I really thought that one of the other heroes was gonna wanna make like a move to like play with. Like I really as like that's my game is like just get to the merge. Like like literally my first season I get voted out like early, then I win, then I went to Legends, like, and then I get voted out early. Like every time I could just make it to the merge, it's just figuring it out from there. I thought that we were gonna win. I really thought we were gonna win that challenge when it came down to like the physical versus like mental stuff. Um yeah, I did not see a world where we lost back to back
It
challenges there.
actually ended that
Um
the mental physical one was pretty close. It was just the fact that you had so many of the slide puzzle selections, but
yeah,
Ben was up there right when Dakota was still finishing the last for the villains. Like it was still
I know I
close
should have
even with all
tripped
the
her.
trouble. Yeah. Well, you had Jimmy in the background going, Dakota, just take your time, don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish Connor had that sucked too, Connor going out first because I mean I haven't played with him, but I just figured that was gonna be like the second
Mhm.
he went out that early, you kind of saw that that was like the okay, we're gonna rip off some old
Yeah.
people.
That
Um,
was Shane made a comment about that too in the chat earlier, saying if there was anything for Vin to do at this point in the season, I think it was to be able to save Connor in the beginning and convince old school and Ben to keep old era, and that was your shot. Yeah, we didn't get a lot of the audio from that round where Connor went, but I think unfortunately you were kind of shot in that because he was gunning for Kyle that round. So he was already
yeah,
shooting
so
at the wrong side for you to be able to put that together. I don't know.
I mean
Was
it's like
there? Oh, sorry. I was just
so,
going to ask, like, your conversations with Connor. Was there anything like you were even able to try to get going with him?
no, he was hitting me with way too much like oh I gotta see. Like I feel like the first vote is like there's no time to I want to see like let's just like someone has to be the sacrificial lamb. Like let's just get something going here. Um yeah, I mean that just goes back to my statement of just like all the like survivor whitewater people just want to just cannibalize each other. Like it just immediately we get in there and everyone's like Connor Kyle and it's like yeah,
Yeah.
realistically I thought that like Connor I feel like I probably would have went to that side a little more if Connor stayed, and then you have Emma and Kyle. You know, you have like a little 4-on-4, and then you could have pulled in, yeah, like Shane said, Ben or I don't think he would have got Jimmy, but yeah, probably Ben at that point, and
Yeah.
made some moves.
I think you did have a tough starting spot on your tribe. Looking at the tribes during the draft, I was thinking that you and Connor were probably in the hardest spots on your tribe because I knew that people knew Kyle and they knew Emma. Like they've seen them before during shootings of seasons and hung out with them. And so I felt like they could try and pull them in. And then you guys were just the easy pickings as people they didn't know. But so I think, given your position, being able to form the relationship you did with Ben and Kira to at least give yourself some form of lifeline was good on your end. But I think it was a tough hand to be dealt to start with.
Yeah, definitely. And I do appreciate the little credits where I could take them at this point.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you made plenty of mistakes, Finn, but
No, I'm
I was
trust
just
me.
saying.
I literally I mean I literally got voted out and then immediately sat there and it's like one of those I I got voted out, went and took a shower, and then it's just immediately like the shower thoughts of like, wow, I should have done this, this, and this, and why did I do that? And then just yeah, I just got way too overconfident. Like like I said, that was bad levels of overconfidence. Like I don't know if I've ever been that overconfident in my life. Like I don't know what happened there, but
Well,
that's
that's
insane.
good. Hey, okay, take the humble pie and also maybe a side of Paul Bunyan's, and then come back later. People will underestimate you, and show us your best game yet.
Well, yeah, I really appreciate that, and I am looking forward to hopefully coming back for another season. I'm pushing for the Christian Davis Bachelor Party Survivor season. I think that Devin should get that up in the running. But we'll see if they could pull that one off. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys letting me hop on the pod. I know I am very bad about just being a listener. So I'm sure I cut you guys off when you wanted to speak too many times, and I do apologize for that. Um, but yeah, this is great. I mean, I definitely have not that I already didn't love it, but I definitely have a newfound like love for like the Survivor Wisconsin. Just like after meeting everyone, it's been great. And then also, I mean, I've come a very long way with the production. As much as the mics cut out and everything like that, like from like the first seasons that I was on, it's literally like it looks like it's on like an iPad. So we
Right. Yeah, you can't get many of the conversations in the old seasons like
yeah,
you
and I
can now.
also whispered way too much because I was like they're in the walls
Yeah.
and can hear me. But yeah, let me stop rambling. Just thank you guys.
Well, before you
Um,
hop off, though, did you want to stick around a little bit to see if anyone in the chat wants to ask some questions for you?
yeah, I would love that actually. Let's just do it.
All right,
Let's just rip.
sure. Then everyone in the live chat, if you have any questions for Vin, shoot them now. And while you're doing that, we can briefly talk about who we thought had the best performance this episode, who we thought was serving the ImmuniTEA. Did you have any candidates, Will, to start us off?
I do, and I think Dan, you and I, because Vin can't, I think you and I should continue our trend of while we talk about the tops, we'll talk about the bottoms, who we think from each tribe is most likely to go next. So my ImmuniTEA, I'll give it to Emma. I think the fact that her name was out there and she ended up with 0 votes except from Vin is very impressive. Especially considering she, I feel like she was trying to bring Joe in as a big person behind that, and she listed Joe last week as like her third on the list. So to prioritize that relationship and manage to flip it around and solidify Vin going over her. I think this should be a good episode. And I already said this earlier. I think based on tonight's episode, I think Richie is next on Heroes. I think he's ruffling some feathers. And especially now that Nolan has the numbers, I could see Nolan having a lot more say in the vote than say like, Corey or Emily leading it. Plus, if they're smart, they're going to want to pull back a bit, kind of like how Jimmy's been talking about doing. Heroes is a big question mark. As I hate to say it, I'm going to take a bold claim and say Jimmy. I feel like actually I'm going to go Ben. I think Ben without Vin is in a tighter spot. I think there's a lot of Kira's in a very good position right now. I think Joe is ranking up very high. So I'm just kind of thinking about who could be at the bottom, but honestly, I'm not. Now that Kyle's gone, I really don't have any strong opinions. It's kind of a toss-up.
Yeah, as far as the Heroes tribe for bottoms and tops, I would think, Kira and Joe, I feel the most safe about currently. And then I think Jimmy or Ben could end up being a flip if they had to go to tribal again, like to get either of them out, or if they wanted to just stay with those 4 and just take out Emma, that's always a possibility too. But I do think, like you said, Emma's done a good job integrating herself. And so it could be easy to use her to flip on one of the other 2 boys there. I had a hard time deciding because these are both mostly straightforward votes. I feel like there was so much strategy talk on the villains. I really wanted them to go to tribal just to see how it played out, because it would have been way more interesting than the just, knocking off poor Kyle and poor Vin here. But so since you gave it to Emma, I think I'm going to go with Kira just because of her positioning in this game. I think the only person I ever saw with any suspicion on Kira was from Vin at the beginning of episode 1, but then by the end of episode 1, Vin's like, you know what, Kira's kind of cool, actually. We're good now. And so I think Kira is in a unique spot where she's good with everyone, even on the other tribe, the villains. When Emily's talking about who she's worried about, it's Jimmy and Joe. She hasn't brought up Kira's name. And I mean, Ben's name has been floating around because of Nolan. So, I mean, she seems to be pretty well connected. I think she's in a really good spot right now. I do want to give an honorable mention just because they didn't go to tribal. I don't think I can give them the whole serving the immunity, but I talked about it a little bit earlier. I was actually really impressed with Nolan's conversations in this round. I don't think we saw that in any of the previous episodes, and I thought he did a really good job communicating with everyone on his tribe and just trying to put himself in a more stable position if they do have to go to tribal again. Vin, you don't have to give any. Oh, I guess. Well, before we go to Vin, Will, did you have bottoms and tops? That we kind of talked about villains a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I did say that. I said I think that. I mean, Emily and Corey are always going to remain at my top over there. I think they're killing it. Dakota's ranking up a little bit, which I think is good for her. So yeah, Richie and Amelia, I think, are at the bottom over there.
Yeah, we're on the same page there. And then for Vin, if you would like to give an award for anyone, or you can say, you know, like you did when you got voted out, fuck all of you, just for this episode alone. So no spoilers for the future, but do you have anyone you thought for these 2 rounds played the best game?
This pains me to say it. Probably Emily.
Oh, it pains you to say it on your anniversary?
While you're sitting next to her.
While I'm looking at her dead in the face. Yeah.
I won't have you go into too much detail because I will say, with how much Emily's talked about her plan, if they went to tribal and her plan went off without a hitch, she would have an easy shot at this award. But since we didn't get to see it play out, it's hard to say. But she's still in a fantastic position on her tribe. So
yeah,
never going to be
if we're going just hero side, probably Jimmy. I won't get too in depth, but I think Jimmy was safe that entire time. So, and I thought he was doing well. So, yeah,
that is actually a good mention too, because before we got to the post-challenge hero side, I thought Jimmy could be a potential option, but then his name didn't come up at all. I thought that maybe there would be a little bit more distrust from him giving his idol away to Nolan, which I don't even care what the end result is. Still think that's a stupid move. But I guess we'll see how that plays out. Okay, let's see if we have questions then for Vin. Just one moment.
There's a lot.
There, I figured there would be.
There's so many. I've been reading them, just like this is
Well, we'll just start with an easy one. Jimmy wants to know bunions right now.
I actually am so depressed I didn't get it. Like, it's not like I know I was running the bit like hard, but like the fact I actually didn't end up getting it at all was just the icing on the tape or icing on the cake of getting voted out. But yeah, if I could get bunions right now, I 1,000% would.
Yeah, that's actually the most heartbreaking part. Since that was like your main intro into the season, I was really hoping we could get that moment. Unfortunately, we
should have just had me live stream it sad.
That'd be great. The Vin after vote out. It's just you like sulking by yourself. Oh, I would have loved that. That'll be the sneak peek for next week. All right, so we have one from Devin. Vin, what type of season would you want to return for?
No, I mean, I love Blood versus Water. I will say, I mean, of course, it's always a bias of just like, I love Blood versus Water, of just like, I think that's really where like relationships come into account, of just like, you have to turn on like literally either your brother or your girlfriend, or like you're there with somebody. So it's like, you have to be, that's like the most cutthroat you could be, is that season. So that's like, I love it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love I like Legends. I love like All Stars, because you're just like, that's the cream of the crop. Like, why wouldn't you want to be there? God, I don't know. Jesus.
You're like, let me just play on any of the seasons I already played on.
I also would love to like I mean, look, guys, love Survivor. Haven't watched too much of it to be able to tell. I would love a season with more just absolute chaos. Like I'm sure Twist Manor probably is like I would love just some chaos of just like comebacks and just like all these crazy like idol type rewards or anything like that. Like granted, I've never found an idol and I never will. I'm just too high to the ground. Um, but yeah, something like that would be cool as well. I'll come back for anything, Devin. You schedule it. You send me the invite enough in advance. I'll be there. I'll sign the contract. You
All
send
right.
it over.
You heard it here first. We're getting more Vin going forward. We have one from Ben, your buddy. Vin, did I break your heart when I told you the vote flipped?
Yeah, I was literally like, I sent like, I wish I could drop the clip of just like, well, it's an Usher song, and the start of it is just him saying like, "Stop playing with me right now." Like, nah, be for real. Like that's literally what was happening to me in that moment. I was just like, this is a sick joke. So yeah, heart sank a little bit. And then I kind of didn't believe him still. Like it was just the pure still overconfidence in my mind of just like, nah, he's fucking with me.
Uh,
And
the
yeah,
bromance cut too short.
bromance that could have been it's still a
He,
bromance, but
Ben did have a follow up too. I think it was more of a real question. He wanted to know, would you have actually gone through with the alliance with Ben, Nolan, Emily, and Corey?
yeah, that was the absolute goal. That was in my mind, that was like the mortal mega max lock of we were just gonna run that, probably grab some more people, 6 or 7 people total,
You had to get another one
and
in
run
there.
with it. But yeah, that would have been awesome. I mean, honestly, out of everyone there, I didn't get to play with Nolan. That would have been nice to play with him for like a little bit. I mean, I enjoyed him as a person. Uh, let's go Michigan. I got them winning my national championship. So, yeah, that would have been cool. I wish, yeah. Honestly, that's the thing that sucks is like it would have been nice to play with some of the villains, like good people outside of the like drinking beers and everything like that. That was fun with them, but yeah,
So close
playing.
yet so far. I mean, I can feel it. I know Merge is just around the corner. Almost there. But yeah, you can't say anything about that. I know.
No, I
So
know.
Shane had a question alluding to what you had said earlier, your shower thoughts you had after the vote out. Were there any specific things you thought you should have done differently?
Okay, so I'll say the first 10 minutes was pure anger. Um, and then yeah, I think I should have definitely had like I think I missed an opportunity of not kind of just having a discussion with Emma and saying, okay, clearly me and you are the ones here right now that are getting like we're both targeting each other. Like we could take that as an opportunity to target someone else that like they're not going to be aware of it because like everyone in their minds right now is okay, it's Vin and Emma against each other. Use that to our advantage. Go get Akira or Ben or someone on the outside of that and say, hey, we're actually thinking we should do this. We're just kind of blowing smoke with each other in that moment. Yeah, I think that would have been good. I think not. Yeah, a lot of it was me beating myself up of like, why am I throwing out 50 names right now? Um, yeah, yeah, the overconfidence is really what I was thinking of more than anything in that moment. And then it was a lot of like, God, I felt like I had it. Yeah, yeah. That was I would say not working with Emma more 100% the thing, and also um, I know I'm rambling, but I felt like I would have been looking way more for an idol in that moment if I felt I was going to go out. Also, just kind of being able to tell them like I wish I told people I had an idol, like not actually had an idol, but I wish like I blew the smoke the whole time of like, oh, I never find an idol, like I'm not having an idol, like I promise I'm not gonna have an idol, and then I wish I like in that moment was like, oh, I actually have an idol, because like maybe someone would have been like, okay, he may have an idol or not, like let's just do Emma.
Yeah. You even fake like you still don't know that your name is out there and be like you're just excited because you finally found an idol for the first time, just to kind of freak him out a little bit.
Yeah, and just find like a pebble and be like, "Oh my god!"
Pebble.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be a little bit bigger than a pebble, right?
Yeah, well, it's not about the size that matters. Okay, let's
Right.
focus
Okay.
on the
It's the
idol.
power.
Okay.
It's in the way you use it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Right.
the power. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Richie wants to know what your favorite challenge was.
I just like dominating a challenge. So I was just literally watching Joe just handle a puzzle while they're literally just sitting there like shaking in their boots. Also, we're just like yelling in their faces while they're trying to do the challenge. Like it was just yeah, that was the best one. I still cannot believe I lost tug of war. But that
Do you
was
think this
just
is why
such a
Richie's asking?
without a doubt. I mean, this is so clearly. I mean, he wanted me to say that. I mean, yeah, low man wins. I thought that was definitely more of an outdoor challenge, given there was snow on the ground and it was 20 degrees. That was not happening because someone was gonna tear every ligament in their leg. Uh, but yeah, Richie, that one sucked.
All right, we got Corey chiming in. Vin, which Davis is the better survivor, and why is your immediate answer Corey?
I have to plead the fifth on this one. I think you're just God. You know what it is? I can't speak on this without complimenting you both, and I don't want to do that.
I
So
think that's a fair enough answer. So if you don't want to
yeah,
compliment, go on to the next one.
you're both very good. Uh, yeah, I will. I'll give my in-depth analysis. Sorry, viewers, on Saturday to rage bait one of you. Whichever one of you it gives me a better mood on Saturday is going to be the better Davis by the end of the day.
There you go, something to compete for. Shane had another question that's not necessarily for you, but he was wondering if you had ever heard from Emily and Corey if they thought about trying to push their tribe to throw a competition to save you on the heroes.
Did you ever think about throwing a competition to save me?
Absolutely not.
I was hoping that was the answer. I love that.
Did you see me in the squats? Do you see my push-ups?
Did I see you in those squats? You should have just flopped on the floor if you really loved me. Your push-ups looked like shit in that challenge too, on God.
Yeah, okay.
Oh god. Don't start fights on the anniversary, Shane.
It's an hour and a half on the East Coast and then it stops. So let's just ask me that in an hour.
All right. Devin wants to know, Vin, who was a Whitewater player you wish was there to play with you?
Nathan. I mean,
Nathan, season 8.
Devin knew the answer to this 1,000% when he asked it. When Nathan and I get around each other, it's just I feel like it always goes pretty well, and it's just the energy is so high. Also, just in general, he's like just having a beer with him after the game would have been awesome. Um, yeah, I'm gonna stick strong to that answer. Many people I miss playing with though.
Yeah, good one. And Jimmy has one that might be lengthy, so that's on brand for Jimmy. He wants to know, Vin, do you have Whitewater player comps for Jimmy, Kira, Ben, Joe, and Emma? So that's 5 people. You can only run through a couple if you don't have to do all 5. And if you don't have any, that's fine.
I'm just like this is. Yeah, I haven't watched enough to have as much in depth as I would love to. Out of people I've played with, I'd say Jimmy is a lot like Cody. Like that's the closest similarity that I could give out of everyone there. Um, Truthfully, I feel like it's some disrespect to the people that got named to like compare them to a lot of the people that I played with. I mean, it's all
Maggie and Kira.
no. I mean, sorry if Maggie's watching. I think Kira's much better.
No, I agree, but
Yeah, I am just really like I felt like in a lot
Maggie
of the
catching
Whitewater.
strays.
Yeah, I just feel like in a lot of the Whitewater seasons, like there were 5 or 6 like good players, and then a lot of people were just there for the run. run in a sense. So it's just like I don't want to disrespect Kira, Ben, Joe, or Emma. I think Cody's a great player. That's why I comped him to Jimmy. So I think they're all great in their own ways, even though I hated them for a good moment there.
Not so serious question from Shane. Do you regret not getting Paul Bunyan's, and do you think your tribe would have won with more Paul Bunyan energy?
I'm not going to exaggerate. I genuinely think if you let me go with everyone to Paul Bunyan's that morning, there's no way they vote me out.
Yeah, I mean, the vibes would have been so strong.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you would have just had a balanced breakfast, How do you lose a challenge after that? Most important meal of the day. And then two, yeah, I would have just enlightened them. I would have just put them on so hard and had a fantastic time with them. They wouldn't have voted me out. I should have made up just an awful thing in my life and just said that was happening and they couldn't vote me out.
I will be very disappointed if Paul Bunyan's is not the merch feast.
Oh, that'd be a big missed opportunity, Devin. I'm not gonna hold out hope, but
I would fucking have drowned myself in a bathtub. I'm not exaggerating. That would have. Oh my god, that shower would not have been. Yeah, I would have been a dead man.
All right, we have more of a loaded question here from my wife. Vin,
yes, so much for the positive comments.
Well, it's not overly negative, but Trinity wants to know if you could explain your thought process with wanting to get rid of weaker players, predominantly women, when you lost the first physical challenge, Tug of War, and wants to know if you ever thought those comments would have rubbed others the wrong way, especially when you were trying to work with Kira.
Okay, it wasn't my logic there. Then is I promise you all, I am not a He-Man woman hater club like in the Little Rascals, but my thought was we just did 2 puzzles. It's gonna be a physical challenge. So in that moment, I I mean I'm a big fella. I was like that was dumb to vote me out if it was gonna be a physical challenge. I mean I didn't mean it in any way of like women aren't strong thing or like I mean if you look at me, I feel like me and Jimmy are like pretty strong dudes in that moment. I felt like that was going to be very useful. I sure hope it didn't rub anyone the wrong way. Sorry, Kira or Emma, if it did. Yeah.
To push back on that a little bit, I mean, when you have someone like Kyle Shields, who's like 5'5" and
No, I thought he was out by the time I said that. No, he's not. Geez, that was not my strong fellas comment. I love Kyle, but he almost. Who did he lose to in Tug of War? I mean,
who was it?
Amelia. Yeah, Amelia like
Amelia,
dogged
okay.
him. Like, yeah, that was not my hard push for male dominance at that moment. That is not the hill I'm dying on, as Kyle is the physical prowess of our team. But yeah, I genuinely thought just puzzles were over with. And then they kind of were. We went right to like Flip Cup, and that I thought that was going to be our game. It was not.
All right, let me see. Trying to just scroll through for our next question. Thanks for answering that, Vin. Appreciate it. To just add a little more perspective. Let's see. Kira does add in that pitching Emma was where her mind changed, because Vin was the one I went to saying I wanted to be a secret duo. The problem being Emma came to me wanting to align, and that's also valuable. So I think you pitching Emma specifically kind of swung Kira a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, in that moment, I mean, I let Kira know that it would have been nice to know that she had like a little thing going with Emma. Like in that moment, I wasn't like, oh, it has to be Emma or no matter what. I mean, I'm very flexible when it comes to, anyone could get it at that point. Just vote him out. Like, so if she had told me that, she had something going with Emma. I was already working well with her. Like, yeah, we could have pulled someone else in and been good. But yeah, that would have been nice to know.
Let's see. Sorry, it takes me so long to scroll through these because I like stayed up like where one is, and then there's like 30 comments that follow it. So I'm just
I
trying
did
to
it for you. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, Richie has one. Everything else is just
Okay,
back and
thank
forth.
you. So Richie wants to know, Vin, if you started on villains, who do you think you would replace, and what would your game plan have been?
I mean, realistically, you would have had to replace me and Emily. And honestly, I think I would have just played it the same exact way she's doing it. Like, it would have been. I think realistically, I mean, Richie, love you, pal. I was gonna probably go with the whole Matty Ice thing and with Nolan and like Corey and vote you out if I had that opportunity. Um, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like I would have been in a lot better position on the villain side.
I think so too. Especially if Ben is still, he's probably still going to tell you during the social hour about the Richie thing. So that would just add even more fuel to that fire for you.
See,
And
would have been good TV. Missed opportunity.
maybe next time around. All right. Don't see any other questions for Vin. Will, did you have any other questions you wanted to ask Vin specifically?
I don't think so.
All right. Well then, Vin, do you have any final comments you want to say while you still have the microphone? This is your episode.
No, I mean, I gave my little spiel. Thank you guys. This was great. You guys are great hosts. I know Will has a little hatred for my game slightly. I think that's the rest of the goal for the rest of my Survivor life is to just impress Will a little bit. He's like, it's like when your dad comes to a baseball game and you just want to get like a hit, just so you get him going. That's the goal now. But yeah, no, I mean, once again, production was great this season so far. I mean, you have slight issues, but what are you gonna do? Hopefully, it gets better. I'm not retiring. Please don't say that.
Yeah, that was Corey. That was Corey.
No. Yeah, Devin, thank you as always. And yeah, I'm very happy for everyone I've met. It has been great to keep in contact with everyone. And yeah, just love the Survivor Wisconsin Whitewater family, and I hope you fellas have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, you too, Vin. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's like a last second scheduling thing. I'm happy we were able to get you on. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I hope you and Emily have a great rest of your night and happy anniversary again.
Thank you.
All right, and until next time, guys, it's been ImmuniTEA time.
And remember, next week we have episodes on Monday and Thursday, so you'll be seeing even more of us. But for now, we will see you next week. Till next time.
Ta-ta.